Whoop whoop! Welcome back to LHRPG. We are the Hellraisers. My name is Little Nitro, and I am joined today by my sister Jade. And what are
So,
we doing today?
you finna be reading some D&D horror Reddit stories.
You're gonna have to put the game down now and pay attention, motherfucker, because we're gonna be discussing these.
Unlike you, I can multitask.
All I'm saying is it looks very disrespectful to the audience. It gives off the vibe that they don't have your full attention.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get it set up to where I won't lose all of this the minute I turn it off.
Where's my left in the fucking car? And she's at
Shit.
work with it. So I gotta use these fucking things.
No,
Oh,
you're not. If
fuck.
you were, you wouldn't be laughing. That don't fix it.
There you go. Just have Greeny take over the controller off screen and we'll be good.
Greeny just walked out after fucking standing in front of the fan and busting ass, knowing that I can't get up.
Oh, that's great. I wish there was someone in here to witness that. Uh, so I think we're gonna wait at least for someone to get in this bitch before we start, so
Why
long
do
as
you
it don't
wait
take too
for
long.
how I
If
can
we end up hitting five
not
minutes before anyone gets in, then we're just gonna jump into it. Fuck that. I'm not gonna wait around all day.
How do I do the hair?
While we're waiting, sister, I'm gonna read you some of these titles and I want you to pick one for us to do first.
Okay.
All right, so there's player has a problem with women. I'm his female DM. Control Freak doesn't like how I DM, runs his own campaign, railroads players. Everyone was cool with it, but game developed into PvP. The DM's favorite player. Friend is being horrible to play with. Is it bad to joke around too much? I'm not going to go through the whole fucking page, but those are some right off the top. All right,
I'm
somebody's in here. Whoever's in here, get in the fucking comments, get in the chat.
honestly that first one
Roll
really
call.
caught my attention.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Oh, they left.
I get
Pussies.
to do that. Okay.
Man, it looks like we're going to be starting with no one in this bitch. All right, someone's back. Who is it? Roll call. Identify yourself. Pause. Who goes there?
Hey, it's me.
They left again. What the fuck? It's me again, Margaret. If no one's in here by the time that clock hits 4:20, we're starting. 10 seconds.
By the time we get to
Five
420, if the
seconds.
smoke is out, if the smoke can share it.
All right, time's up. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. All right. So, all of these are coming off of the RPG horror story subreddit.
How do I get out of
So,
here
and
without?
uh, before we officially start, I just want to acknowledge, give a big shout out to Smosh and Crit Crab, who we totally ripped off the idea for this episode. So, if you're interested in more RPG horror stories, uh,
If I go in and I've lost that.
shit, my bad. Good shit. If you're interested in specifically RPG stories, he reads them off. That's all, pretty much all he does. But if you enjoy just fucked up Reddit stories in general, you can go subscribe to Smosh Pit, where Shane and a couple of guests are always. Anyway,
I'm a
on
personal
to
fan
it.
of the Am I the Asshole Reddit stories.
Oh, I love those ones. People are fucking crazy, man. All right, let me know when you're ready, and I will begin.
All right, I'm stepping out to smoke a cigarette if I can manage without getting tripped by cords because my husband just lays stuff everywhere.
The fuck, Greenie? Oh yeah, this is a long one. It's
He's
like
waking a daughter up.
6 paragraphs. Okay,
Holy shit. All
let
right,
me
go
know
ahead
when
and
you're
start.
seated and ready, and we'll. Okay. All right. So uh, just closure. I'm gonna say it one more time. Every story we're about to read comes from the RPG Horror Stories subreddit. This one is titled "Player Has a Problem with Women. I'm his female DM." All right, here we go. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine introduced his friend to us, and we got along. Said friend then asked if he could join my campaign, which sounded fun to him, and I agreed after I've done a session 0 with him and got a good impression on him. He rolled his character and joined the party. Now, I am DMing for 3 real life friends. 2 are guys, and our dynamic is very easy. We joke about each other and made stupid jokes about gender stereotypes, never crossing the line. For example, when I went to the kitchen to grab a drink with my headphones on, we play online over Discord and Roll20. My guy friends say, "Good, exactly where a woman should be." Again, I take no offense in such jokes because I know he doesn't mean it in a harmful way, and we all can laugh about it. The guy who didn't respect me is another story. I recall one time when my players investigated an abandoned ship. Uh, their war crews left. Oh shit. Okay, it says war. It's supposed to be were. There were no crew left. Typos, my bad. And they wanted to find out what happened to them. I wrote a little adventure around it, and some hours, they found out and defeated the evil. I was glad everyone was having fun. Then the problem player asked, "That was cool. Good job, Daniel."
Pop her ass.
Daniel is the friend who
No
has
movement.
introduced
Can't
us
reach her.
and has been playing for years, so he's got a lot of experience. I was confused, so I
That
asked,
was in
"Why Daniel?" To which the problem player answered, "Didn't he help you with it?" I
Get her
said
ass right.
that I did, in fact, write it by myself. There was an awkward silence, and he just went with, "Okay," like he didn't believe me. It was weird. Uh, oh shit! I got to relight. There have been some minor things that have happened too, which just got me feeling that he either doesn't like my style of DMing, my campaign, or my campaign overall, or me. For example, he made snarky comments about every female character I introduced, uh, either being too annoying, too cliche, too babbly, or too childish. One comment stuck with me, in which he said, "I don't know why you are doing this. Women don't act like that." Big news. I am a woman. I know how a woman acts and feels. Then he just went with a snarky, "Yeah, whatever. Maybe you're just not woman." Again, I rubbed it off as a poorly made joke since it's common in our friend group to joke about such things. But I realized that he started to make meaner comments. My voice was too high and screechy all of a sudden. My missions were boring. My DMing style was not enjoyable. I talked to him about it, and he just said he was sorry and was going through a hard time. I told him I understand, and if he was in a difficult place, but not to let his frustration out on me. All right, we're almost at the end here. So far, this dude sounds like a douche. But then, after another mission, I've had enough, and I realized that he was not just having fun, but he had a problem with women overall. Players needed a way to cross the ocean, and they hired a captain, a female captain. I heard problem players sigh, but focused on the negotiating the price for the ride. Short time later, they were on the ship, and the captain asked them about their backstories a bit. Problem player answered, "I don't want to talk about it with some wretch." I was surprised since the captain hasn't done anything yet besides them taking them on her ship. The fucking typos and grammatical errors in this are impeccable. Me as the captain, I will not tolerate someone disrespecting me on my ship. You better watch your words. Him, yeah, whatever, dude. Me. Your eyesight might not be working, but I am no man's son. Somehow that triggered him to where he wanted to duel her for his honor or something. I asked him out of game if he was sure since she was several levels higher than him, but he insisted, so they fought. He lost, of course. And when I tell you he was freaking out, he wasn't just disappointed that he lost, he was straight up angry. We asked him to calm down since it wasn't the end of the world, and I told him to leave the call for a while to let the steam off since it was very uncomfortable for us to hear him rant. To which he said, "Stop telling me what to do. No woman tells me what to do." And that was it. I realized he was uh, just has deeply rooted problem with women, fictional or not, and that all the snark he threw towards me was because of this. He left the call, and our friend Daniel said he would talk to him, but I didn't want the guy back in my campaign for my sake or and our other female friend's sake, to which everyone agreed. Don't know what happened after. Daniel hasn't mentioned it again. Maybe he ended the friendship. Don't know. Just hope that guy gets help. Okay, so before I start going, what are your thoughts on this shit?
In my opinion, he is a flat out toxic player, and if he can't be respectful to the DM and the other players in order to have a good time, then he shouldn't be in the group.
Not only that, he's just a straight up fucking misogynist.
Hmm.
Now, I'm the first one to say that the phrase toxic masculinity gets thrown around a lot to a lot of shit that doesn't fucking deserve it. But that there, I think, covers. That counts, right?
Like his whole problem wasn't the NPC as a character. His problem wasn't the DM as a DM. His problem was that they were female.
Yeah. I feel bad for whoever he ends up dating.
That sounds like somebody who has some issues he needs to work through.
Yeah. All right, let's check out some of these comments. Sorry you had to deal with that, but honestly, you dealt with it as well as any GM could. You talked to him about the problems, set boundaries, asked him to leave the table for a bit to cool off when things got hot. And when he didn't do that and instead doubled down on the disrespect, you made it clear he was done at your table. This story could be a clinic on every GM should handle problem players. Nicely done. 430 upvotes. Let's see. Exactly. This shit alone is why campaigns should have diverse characters. It makes awful people out themselves early. That one only has 42 upvotes, but I think that that person is very racist.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Could you
great.
imagine that guy in our group?
Oh, he would not last long because as
How
much as people don't want to face it, our group is split down the middle when it comes to gender, pretty much.
and how often are me and Tink the ones, like, okay, how do we problem solve this crap? You know, as I'm
Like,
sorry. The minute I go to try and help somebody in a campaign to figure something out or investigate something or do a combat or anything, and they want to disrespect me based on my gender or my race or anything like that while we're trying to play a game, I'm gonna tell them they can get out.
now, if the character is like some kind of fucking racist or some shit like some form of, then I can understand it to a point. But even then, unless you have a very good reason in your
Right,
backstory to promote such prejudice in a character, why would you even create that? Like Nexus
right. That's
created a
a
prejudiced character, but that character had what I consider a legitimate reason for his prejudice.
right.
And he still was able to.
Like that's a very good question. Like, is there something in his past, in his character's past, that would cause his character to be prejudiced against women that is, necessary for that plot point, or is he just being a dick?
Right. Now, like, you could do that, right? Just have a character that's a douchebag, as long as part of your plan for that character is to give them an arc in which they redeem themselves.
Right, that character development.
Right. But
Or
overall,
say his family was, say he was abducted and abused by a group of women raiders, and so he doesn't trust women, like that would be understandable. And then he has to find a way to cope with that and overcome that.
yeah. I think on this one, it's pretty much just overall, I'm glad she kicked the dude out when she did. That guy's an asshole. All right. We still have no one. We're 17 minutes in with no one in here. That's horrible.
Where is JPC, man?
I told him we were going. I even told him what the theme was for the episode. He sounded interested.
When Greenie gets
Matter of
back,
fact,
I'll
he
send
said
up
the
a
word
link through
interested.
his phone and see if we can get some more people in.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, this one is extra long. There's a TLDR in here, and I think we'll skip that one for now. Ooh, this one comes with a violence one.
Ooh, what's it called?
Friend is horrible being friend is being horrible to play with.
All right, let's hear it.
Sounds dramatic. Posted by you slash bulldog drop 22 hours ago. 16 copies. They need to have some of these in the Am I the Asshole subreddit.
Right. Like
Nothing
one
would
that's like,
make
am
me
I the
happier than
asshole
to
for
see
kicking out this
Shane.
player? And then they tell us what happened.
Right. Like, nothing would make me happier than to see Shane reading RPG stories on Smosh Pit because they already play D&D. Noah runs the game and Damien runs the game.
Dude, we should put some of our stories on there. Like, am I the asshole for turning my husband into a zombie? Tried to ruin our game.
Yes! You should totally do that. After this episode, when we're done, go on to Reddit and post that shit. Tell the whole fucking story.
Oh shit.
Okay. Let's see how long this one's going to be. Oh, it's about the same. Maybe a paragraph shorter. Something tells me I'm going to need to. Oh, before I do, though, before I like this. No one's in here to see it, but anyone that watches it back will. Let's get it on with Stoner Batman.
That looks like Adam West Batman.
Right, but look at the chest emblem.
Right.
Oh, the fan. Hang on. Okay. I gotta move this fan for a second. It's blowing out my lighter. Oh, fuck. Y'all gotta bear with me. My back is killing me, spreading into my ribs. Okay.
I got it up past the arrow, honey. Look.
Look, that's clean. Now I can put the fan back.
Can I use your phone real quick? Send the link out. We have like nobody in the chat right now.
At all. It's crazy because last episode we had fucking now it's good.
Yeah, when we did the last
Hi,
episode,
Franny.
118 viewers.
Yeah.
It does.
Like that was the
I
first
just
time we
referenced
broke
you.
like 60. I was excited.
Okay.
Even though I guarantee you most of those people were just bored as shit and was checking to see what the hell it was. Although we did get Don Chaos in that shit. And
Right.
short spoiler warning, I don't know. I'm gonna have to hop in his inbox to try to make this shit happen. But he did express interest in letting us interview him for an episode of Sit Down. So that would be fucking epic if I could get that going. So y'all make sure go over to Don Chaos's channel and be like, "Yo, Nitro wants you for Sit Down." And since Jade's our editor and she hasn't been editing shit, I'm gonna give her a new job, and that is to go and watch a bunch of his shit to come up with awesome questions because most of my questions that I come up with tend to be kind of personal, and I want to make sure I get some occupational ones in there. You know what I mean? For we got a shout out on Habs for having good questions during Humble's interview at Juggle Ohio. And I just want to throw it out there. I maybe came up with like two of them. The rest of those were Vixen and a few were from Jade. So credit to where credit's due. I don't come up with very good questions. It's my team that does it for me.
Yeah, you come up with the personal questions and I come up with the professional questions.
hmm So your new job concerning Don Chaos is to review some of his shit so you get a good idea of, who he is and what he does. Because I remember you had to ask me who he was when he jumped in the chat. So watch a few episodes, get a good idea, good feel for him, and then give me some good questions.
You'll send me a link to his channel, then I'll be able to
Oh yeah, I
check
got
it
you.
out.
I got you. I actually became familiar with him when he interviewed Humble Monk. I was like, oh, Humble's gonna be on this channel. I gotta check it out. And then the dude has like some fucking pedigree, so I started watching some more of his other shit. He's interviewed some big names in the Juggalo community. That is as big as
Greeny's
you can
font
get
on his messages is
without
like
being
that super
ICP or
large
Wheezy.
old person font.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn.
Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, I've been ready.
All right. All right. This one is from Bulldog Drop. Uh, that's the OP's screen name. Title: Friend is being horrible to play with. Comes with a violence warning. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Um, Let me go ahead and get another sip of this candy apple right there. Free product placement for Fago. This candy apple shit is the shit. It's like my number one now. Originally, my favorite was Peach, and then it was Firework because I got to try that at Gavin. So it was Firework for like a year or two. And then I had this Candy Apple, which our local convenience store loves to stay stocked with because I go in there and get them like every other fucking day. It's my shit. All right, so I have been in campaign for a few weeks, and it's been mostly pleasant, except for every interaction between me and one other player. Let's get in. Backstory. We all had session zero and talked about our characters, and everyone in session zero had very quirky ideas. One person, very preppy, would add a title to her name every time she said it. Another wanted to be a unique, sounds like a Nazi.
A unique what?
My character want to be a unique race who thought they were best at everything.
So yeah, D&D
It's a
Nazi.
Nazi, right? Okay. Um, my character can't speak common because they is a monster race and hasn't been to many towns. Okay. I hate to be that guy. I was just talking about Nazis. I'm about to be a grammar Nazi. Dude, bulldog, drop, whatever the fuck. You gotta get better at your grammar, buddy. You
Yeah,
got
most
because
Reddit
this is
stories have shitty
some of
grammar.
these sentences you'll notice I start tripping up on some of this shit. It's painful to read.
Hey, we've got 3 more people
Like
in the chat. Y'all give us a whoop whoop. Let us know you're here.
give us a whoop whoop in the chat. Roll call. So yeah, like I'm having to fix a lot of these sentences on the fly. I apologize. Okay, so every basically what I'm getting is all the players have some kind of quirky distinction to them, right? That's what I'm getting. So OP's character is a monster race that can't speak common. The final player said they were going to be a sad emo boy. Oh fuck. We're
It's
gonna get
me, the
emo
sad
Peter
emo
from
character.
Spider-Man 3. We're gonna get emo Peter from Spider-Man 3, y'all.
You know that emo character's a rogue.
Oh, for sure.
They're always either a rogue or a warlock.
And if it's a rogue, I don't think they're probably not even gonna take Arcane Trickster. They want either thief or assassin.
They're going for assassin.
This is all purely speculation. I, uh, why did you put me in a group text, man? I'm guessing you were texting too. And apparently, it's a group text thread that I'm in because I just got the notification.
I sent Tink a link directly to the live stream, and she just put me and you in a group
Well,
chat.
what the fuck, Tink? I can't respond to calls or texts when we're live. It fucks the stream up. Anyway, so the campaign setup goes like this: fun activity, fight a monster, skill checks, level up. That sounds about like one of our games, right? As far as D&D goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cue session one and fourth. Everyone sits down at the table and are told of the fun activity. Our characters get to know each other and from a group begin the activity. Form a group. They said from a group. What the fuck? See what I mean? And form a group to begin the activity. I'm having to fix this shit. Too bad there's not an edit button like on Wikipedia. I would just fix shit all day. Everyone is getting along with each other except for sad emo character, who is making it very well known that they are tolerating us at best, and tells me and another PC to go away and stop following. Easily done. Weird thing to say, but however, the player wants to play the character right. Eventually, the activity ends and the chaos in the campaign announces the monster. We all run to the room. We fight the emo we fight and the emo character did nothing but push my character around the map. I'm not even sure why. After a couple of rounds, we win. Our characters are given opportunities to join other activities, and we do go about our various activities. During the time between that and fun activity number two, anytime we have our B moments, the emo character decides to kick my character for every time my character tries to talk and is genuinely unhelpful to the rest of the party to the point where his character would go out of his way to be a hindrance to every other player. I let this go stupidly and expressed my displeasure to the DM after the game, but told her to hold off because I think I can handle it. The DM tells us the fun activity, the emo character chooses to stay out of it. The three of us left to have fun in our various ways at the activity while the emo character goes to their room and does whatever the player wants. After the fun activity, monsters activate. Emo boy is told of the events and chooses to stay out of it. We win without him barely, and only one of our party is actually caught at the scene. Okay? There's a lot of context I'm missing out. I'm not following the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps saying activity, activity. Like, what the fuck is an activity? Like, can you give me some details on, the setup, what you were doing?
Yeah, you kind of need to have context in order to make a good judgment.
Yeah. Um, Emo Boy's character, Emo Boy character player. God damn. What happened? Where did you go?
For some reason, my camera got turned around.
What the fuck? Okay. Emo Boys player asked the DM to have an RP session at their activity, and because I thought I could help, uh, and maybe take the animosity that I am still unaware of. What is with all these? You have half of a parentheses inside of a parentheses, and then another half of parentheses outside of a different parentheses. What the fuck? Okay. So basically, the emo boy wants to do an RP session as part of his activity, and OP wants to help. Uh, Player accepted my offer. Okay, scene begins. God damn, this person, whoever, oh, no offense, OP, you suck at fucking grammar. Like, it is physically painful to read.
I've got one after this.
Is it from the same subreddit?
It's a D&D Am I the Asshole?
Oh, shit. Okay, a treat. Fuck yeah. All
It's
right, I
ti-
will try to finish this because I don't want to start the story and just cut it off halfway through. I want to try to get to it.
yeah, if you
My
can manage
character's
to read
still
it.
right. It's horrible. All right, scene begins. My character still can't speak common, so she does her best to convey what she wants from Emo Boy. What does Emo Boy do? Picks up my character after an NPC paralyzed her with a spell and tries to punch my character. He misses and drops me instead. The NPC starts berating me An emo boy character then proceeded to push my character to the side. This is what broke the straw on the camel's proverbial back. My character saves from paralysis and becomes the monster her race was labeled as and stabs the NPC character and turns to slaughter the emo boy when another NPC stops my character cold and proceeds to punish only my character. I am furious at the DM, at the player playing emo boy, and at the emo boy character himself.
Cuz said,
Okay.
he's talking about a scheme. I'm like, I never heard of a scheme. He goes, look it up. I was like, well, my wife has my phone. I was like, oh, well, go ask her to look it up so you can see what it looks like. You know what a skink is?
No, I just know you stink.
You know what a skink is?
Greeting.
Some kind of lizard.
You're interrupting us, and we're about to read the last paragraph.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I know what they are.
All right.
One sec. Damn it. Are we? Am I back? Are we good?
You're good.
Okay. Stupid fucking phone. Vixen texted me, and I don't want to just blow her off, but I'm live, so I can't go into the shit to reply. So luckily, the little bubble thing, I don't know why it's doing that now with the text, but kind of like how it does on Messenger when a little bubble pops up,
Yeah, mine
when you
did
get
that
a
the other
message.
day.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, but I was like, oh, cool, I can reply and I won't have to worry about getting text. So I replied to her message. I let her know that we were live, and then I go to back out and get up here, and it opens the fucking text message app.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I had to like fucking get this shit back up. Anyway, last paragraph. Let me get a drink of this shit. My mouth is drying out. I don't know if it's from the bud or from the fucking shitty grammar.
Right?
I don't know how this became a roast session on how OP writes. Like he's trying to use a lot of parentheses, but clearly doesn't know what they're used for.
People wouldn't know what to do if you and I wrote Reddit stories. They'd actually be able to read them.
Right? It would play out like a fucking short story or a novel or some shit. Okay. So it sounds like from what I'm getting from this, uh emo boy teamed up with an NPC to try to paralyze and beat the shit out of OP. Is that what that sounded like to you?
Yeah.
Okay. But OP saved and killed the NPC and was about to kill emo boy, and another NPC stopped it, right? Okay. Next session. There's a bit of RP and fun activity three starts. Emo boy is actively hindering all of our characters during the activity on purpose because of monster number two, like it was our fault. So I'm guessing that's the last big combat. After the activity, monsters appear. My party minus emo boy goes into fight. We all survived on the DM's good graces, and that's it with one hit point each. Oh shit. You might ask what
Right?
the final character of our party was doing instead of helping. Well, my dear reader, you are getting money for all of us. What? Oh, I skipped a line. My bad. The emo character was trying to make money off the rest of our work. And when another player stated, oh, cool, you're getting money for all of us, emo boy smiled and said, nope, it's all for me. It was then I knew I was going to make a nuclear wizard. What the fuck is a nuclear wizard?
I wish I knew.
Google that real quick. See what that is. Uh, and before I pulled the trigger, I gave the player a chance by confessing to said player my anger and frustrations. The player got back to me and said they will no longer be physically abusive to my character, but will not stop playing Emo Boy the way they are playing because if the player makes a challenge for one, the player has to make a change for all. Okay, makes a change. That's a change. I thought that would be the end of it. Instead, the DM tells me I'm no longer allowed to RP with Emo Boy as to the player's wishes due to my hurtful words. I'm building that wizard. Okay, this person sucks at writing.
A nuclear wizard
Um,
in D&D is a character that uses a variety of abilities, including ranged attacks, movement, and fire damage spells. They also have a nuke token and a wizard's familiar, such as an owl. At level 13, a nuclear wizard can functionally perform 3 actions.
oh, okay. Um, that was very hard to follow. What do you think?
Honestly, I struggled.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. You see some of these. That's hard. Yeah, yeah. So first comment, bro, out of game problems should not be solved in game. There's definitely some disconnect happening here, and you let it fester. Talk to people.
I will say the whole, oh no, it's fine, I can handle it. No, if you have an issue, bring it up to the DM and get it resolved.
That's a shit DM that ignores problems at the table and keeps a shit non-participating player. What the DM should say to Emo Boy. Make a character that cooperates and participates. Otherwise, this table is not for you. Also, is Emo Boy 8 years old? That sounds like how a child would act. I agree. I don't think any of the three main players here between Emo Boy, OP, and the DM, I don't think any of them are actually doing what needs to be done in order to make a cohesive game and a fun gaming group. You
It
know what I
sounds to
mean?
me like they're all very new.
Either very new or very selfish and petty.
Yeah. As I'm
Perhaps
giving them
both.
the benefit of the doubt and assuming they're new.
Right, right. But I'm saying by some of the lingo the guy was using in his story, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He sounds experienced. OP.
Yeah.
Like hell, I didn't even know what the fuck that nuclear wizard shit was. We had to Google that, you know. And I've
Fair.
been playing for fuck. I've been playing for like 17 years. I probably should have known what that was, you know.
Yeah, but it also
I
doesn't take a
I
lot to
will
just Google stuff.
right, but also in my defense, for the last like 5 6 years, I've been playing predominantly other games other than D&D. You know,
Right.
we pretty much have been saving D&D for fantasy.
I think the first time we played D&D in a couple of years, other than Fantasy High, was Bloodkeep.
Oh no, your audio's cut. What?
I said I think the first time we actually played D&D other than Fantasy High
Uh-huh.
in a couple of years was Bloodkeep.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say, Mr. Bulldog Drop, that violence warning tag is so not fucking necessary. You're talking about an in-game fight that was pretty glossed over. That's ridiculous. Get that tag off of there. All right, let's hear that
Tag.
Am I the Asshole
All right, you ready for this?
story.
It's the title is "Am I the asshole for killing my boyfriend's favorite NPC?"
Oh, all right. You'll have to bear with me while you're reading it because I don't. It's probably not doing it for the people watching because it rarely is. But on my end, your audio is kind of cutting in and out at certain points, so I may ask you to.
All right, can you hear me any better now? I put the mic closer to my face.
I heard that sentence, but your
All right,
video is like. Is my video laggy on your end?
not really.
Yours is pretty laggy on mine. So I think it's just
Well,
my shit signal here.
I put the mic closer to my face so you could hear this story.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Am I the asshole for killing my boyfriend's favorite NPC? Years ago, my boyfriend and I had a
Ooh.
cute little 121 campaign in 3.5 where he was an Ibixian barbarian and I was a gloaming rogue. We called it The Adventures of Goatman and Fairy. It was cute, but just a small thing. Basically, in the lore of ending that little side campaign, the gloaming turned out to actually be a doppelganger and fled, etc., story over. Fast forward to now, I've been running this campaign for almost a year now and have several NPCs slash DMPCs with varying degrees of influence from past characters, past players, the usual inspiration for NPCs. Boyfriend had a bunch of subsequent characters that just got on every other player's nerves. So there was a fair bit of character changing because nobody could stand the characters and retconning until finally my boyfriend found a character everyone really liked and brought fun into the campaign. That was Goatman. His backstory is that he's trying to restore his memory that was tortured out of him by Drow after Fairy became her true self and fled. He wants to find her. Uh, OOC, he obviously knows that DMPC M is that doppelganger he's been pining for all these years, but his character is figuring it out slowly. Tonight we had a session.
All
I
right, hang
spent a
on. You're
lot of.
you're cutting out. You're cutting out real bad again.
Can you hear me?
You sound very robotic and shit. I missed like the last three sentences.
What's the last thing you heard?
Uh, OP or not OP? Fucking the Goat Man backstory.
All right. He obviously knows that the DMPC is that doppelganger he's been pining for all these years, but his character is figuring it out slowly. Tonight we had a
Okay.
session I spent a lot of time preparing for. I had this whole Hunger Games sort of styled arena thing arranged that fit with the storyline. Everyone was having fun, and privately, another player had asked that we get to hang out with a particular NPC again. So I thought, what better time? He's gonna love this character showing up to spice up the story. However, my boyfriend has a thing for figuring out what I've planned to drop in sessions, enemies, what have you. And the second I described this other NPC, he started metagaming to convince another new player to help him kill her. This started to really, that's a weird phrase. This started to really shit me.
So are they
I'm guessing,
Australian?
I'm guessing, um, when he refused to let the NPC help
Guess
them with
who?
some,
Batman's back. Tell a friend.
When he refused to let the NPC help them with some quest and demanded a bunch of roles that held everyone up. It was getting boring for everyone with me trying to say as kindly as possible that he was the only one not doing the thing and demanding roles hold everyone up. Hang on.
Yeah, it's
Hang
cutting
on.
out really bad again.
Okay, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Anyway, he decided to ditch on this kind of story important moment to just wait to attack the NPC. This shit had been holding up the game for ages already, including splitting the party, because he really just wanted to murder my NPC that had some relevance to the story. That's when I said to myself, fuck this, and killed his NPC. It fit her character. She was brave but not strong. She'd never leave this place alive anyway. She'd just seen a traumatic vision that nobody, including boyfriend's character, was interested in. And the other NPC had a whole traumatic backstory. When I announced that M did the table, what M did, the table went quiet. I shed tears. The other characters vowed to end the villain who made this happen. My boyfriend lost his absolute shit, accused me of punishing him for trying to senselessly murder my plot relevant NPC, and said he'd never play with us again.
Hang on, you're cutting again.
I wasn't cutting, the baby started crying.
What?
The baby started crying. That was the interference.
Uh,
All right, you hear me?
C3PO.
What about now, good sir?
Well, you're still glitching right now. I only heard half of it.
Donna, 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 Donna.
That's what that sounded like to me.
Can you hear me now?
Again, there's no one in here watching, so I don't know if it sounds that way for the viewers, but that's how it sounds to me.
What about now?
I see your face now, but it's your mouth is not
This is, I'm almost done reading this. Come on now.
right. But see, because of the problems I'm having, I didn't hear over half of them.
Do you want me to just send it to you?
I'm not going to be able to open it.
I can send it to your email. You can open it on a laptop.
What did you Google to find it?
D&D Am I the Asshole Reddit stories.
Okay, and what's the name of it, of the story?
Am I the asshole for killing my boyfriend's favorite NPC?
Okay, here's what I read.
Bless you. Bless you. You're not getting another bless you.
He needs to watch College Humor's video on sneezing in the office.
Right? He said you need to
Okay.
watch college
So
humor
here's what
video
I'm
on
gonna.
sneezing in the office.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. What's the last sentence you read?
I was about to pick up. I'm on the I was about to read the paragraph that starts with, "My boyfriend lost his absolute shit."
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Real quick. I am going to skim through everything before that quietly to myself, so I'm caught up on all the major info, and then let you take back over reading it out. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get it cleaned up. Don't forget her rice. Do you need help? You could have brought her to me. I just couldn't get up. Do, 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 do. It's a good thing we don't have any viewers right now.
Okay. Hit it.
You ready?
Yep. Thank you for your patience.
All right. My boyfriend lost his absolute shit, accused me of punishing him for trying to senselessly murder my plot relevant NPC, and said he'd never play with us again. Off and went to bed. Like, I definitely shed tears at the table, but boyfriend flat out refused to ever play again and is now ignoring me. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't furious that he deliberately tried to mess with my session, possibly ruin it completely. And yes, when I killed off the NPC N, I thought to myself, that'll teach him. But really, am I the asshole here? We have until he stopped feigning sleep to be heard.
Two things. All right. Number one, I love how you fixed that sentence on the fly. That'll learn him.
Yeah, no, I could not even attempt to read it like that.
That's
Sorry.
some redneck. That's some redneck shit right there. I'm just
That'll
saying.
learn him.
Okay. No, I don't think OP is the asshole. If anything, I think the boyfriend is kind of an asshole because like you are deliberately metagaming and going out of your way to crash this whatever plans that you're when she's
Right.
obviously put a lot of work and planning into it, and that's kind of fucked up.
It sounds like he just got a hair up his ass and decided to be a dick and tried to deliberately ruin it, so she made sure that he got a taste of
And
his own medicine.
if I didn't skip anything, if I did this correctly, this is an NPC from a previous game that their characters now don't know yet. Correct? Did I read that right?
Yeah, the only character that knows that
Yeah.
NPC is his, but according to this, his character has amnesia and is still figuring everything out.
Right. So why the fuck would you right on the spot? Hey, we got to kill this motherfucker. Like it doesn't make
Right.
any sense. So no, I think I would say not the asshole.
Um,
Let's look at some of these comments.
First comment says, It sounds like you're both in the wrong. If you don't like him metagaming, you should talk to him about that. It's not really appropriate to kill an NPC because of meta reasons. You lost the NTA status when you did that. Regardless, it's just a game. It shouldn't be driving a wedge in between the two of you. So if it is, maybe the right answer is to not play together anymore. If you want to retcon, it was a doppelganger all along. If you had your memory modified and that actually didn't happen, then you can do that. He shouldn't metagame and take over your sessions with insider knowledge either.
Kind of harsh, but he makes some good points.
I do agree. If they can't get along at the table, then they shouldn't be playing together, especially if it's going
Yeah,
to be causing a wedge in their relationship. That would be like if
like
me and Greenie just couldn't manage to play together and it ruined our marriage.
look, it's a thing. Like it's a logical fallacy of like social situations. It's where you think that just because you're friends, you can do anything together. And I will go and personally say, many of my best friends, I just cannot play with at the table.
Right.
DL is one of them. Uh, fucking Nameless is one of them. DL, I love playing in games that he runs, but as far as playing with him or running him through a game, he's my boy. He's not the best player. You know what I mean?
Right.
He kind of has was it spotlight syndrome? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nameless is the exact opposite. He's
Man,
completely fucking tuned out unless he's fighting,
hang on.
and even then he tunes out if it's not his turn.
I said come in, but
However, Nameless did finally admit to me that tabletop gaming is not his thing. He's not that interested in it, and I'm like, finally, thank you. That's cool. Now I know not to invite you for a game because you wouldn't enjoy it. That is much better than you showing up and dragging down other people's fun. No
I think there
offense,
was many
homie.
years where you had made the comment. You were like, if you don't like it, just tell me that.
Yeah. So, but I do want to give a big shout out to Nameless. He's like my homie. So, whoop, whoop. He's a good dude. He's just, you know, it's not his thing. He's a
Right.
video game. Have fun,
And
play your
that's
video
okay. Not
games. We'll
everybody
do
gets
this.
into
And
TTRPGs.
then, right. And you know what happens? What ends up happening is there's more shit for us to talk about at work when he comes into my and stands in front of my fan that I don't get to stand in front of all day. Cool off because it's fucking hot as balls out there. Is I can tell him stories of our games and he tells me stories of his games.
There you go.
It doubles the fucking conversation, you know?
Right.
All right. I want to read this next comment. Well, it might not be the next one in line. I'm just gonna pick one. Yeah, it's not gonna be the next one in line because that's motherfucking long. Yes, right here, Sonic Phil T. I don't know. I think you guys should stop playing D&D together until you both grow up. 33 on post.
I think that's very
Oh, that's
accurate.
great. OP's response is, I mean, he could stop being abusive, but technically you're not wrong.
I like that.
Accuse me of punishing him for trying to senselessly murder my plot relevant NPC. Isn't that exactly what you did? Y'all are both too invested in the story. Need to take a step back and let the rest of the players have fun too. I like that one. Let me see if there's any more Am I the Asshole Reddit stories for D&D.
I seen another one when I googled it.
What's it called?
Am I the asshole for kicking someone from my D&D game after the first session? It's right below the favorite NPC one.
I'm searching the sub if there's a subreddit for it right now. I'm on the post. I typed in D&D. Am I the asshole? Okay. Am I the asshole for considering kicking out my D&D player?
This one says, "Am I the asshole for kicking someone from my D&D game after the first session?"
Okay.
There's also
Okay.
one that says,
That's
"Am
gonna
I
be
the
way
asshole for
down here.
killing a friend's player character?"
All right. Well, here I'm on. There's actually a subreddit for it. I'm on there right now.
Oh,
If you
dope.
go to reddit.com and type in D&D, am I the asshole? You'll find it. We have here the asshole for considering kicking out my D&D player. Am I the asshole for telling a member of my D&D group that I did like being called out in front of the whole table? I think that's supposed to be didn't. Something tells me not to read that one. The grammar is going to be shit. Am I the asshole for choosing D&D over my boyfriend?
What?
Oh, I think we should read that one. What do you
I
think?
think we should too.
Oh my God. After that, we'll do Am I the asshole for putting a curse on my player? That one sounds like it'll be fun. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one's not too long. We can do this. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up too.
Yeah, that way, if when I'm reading one, you can follow along, and then when you're reading one, I can follow along. We'll just go back and forth. Cool.
Cool.
So, uh, matter of fact, I'll have you read this one because I did two in a row. So I'll have you do this one, and then I'll take over the next one.
Okay.
Seems
All right,
fair.
ready?
Yep.
Am I the asshole for choosing D&D over my boyfriend? This has been a weird fight and I don't understand anymore. So, hiya, y'all. First time, long time. I need your help because I, 34 female, have been in this non exclusive relationship with Adam, male 50. So, I am not saying I'm ugly, but I'm no Tyra Banks. I'm about 5'6"
Oh,
American.
wait, whoa, hold up. Right off the bat, I need, I'm sorry, I'm going to be that guy. I have to call this out. Part of your problem is the 16-year age gap. I
50.
understand they're both consenting adults. Let them leave them alone. I understand that to a point, but you have to acknowledge there is a big mental and emotional difference, and they're not going to connect properly.
I heard that too, and I was like, that
Are
ain't
you
my
ready?
problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yep, go ahead and start from so I'm not saying.
So I'm not saying I'm ugly, but I'm no Tyra Banks. I'm about 5'6" American and around 130 pounds. When I am being slightly generous to myself. Ever see a statue of
Shout
Venus
out
in
to Tank
museum?
in the chat. Whoop whoop.
Ayo. Honey, I need a different
Finally,
band-aid.
homie. Hey, you caught the beginning of this one. We've already done like what, three before this?
Right.
We're reading Am I now we're on the I think this is what we'll do for these ones going forward. We're on the Am I the Asshole for D&D subreddit, and we're reading these stories, and sister just started this one. Okay, go ahead. We're now on
Ever
Adam and
see a
I go.
statue ever see a statue of Venus in museums? I have the OG goddess of love belly. Adam and I go to the same karaoke night. He's always been charming and fun. He asked me out, and despite my age, I never really date many people. I am demisexual if you're playing Reddit bingo at home. So I was
What the
into him
fuck
a
does
little.
that mean?
I don't fucking know.
Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Actually, like real stuff or like
Yeah,
made
these
up.
are actual
I'm
people's
going.
actual stories.
I'm going to Google. Give me a second. I need to know what the fuck demisexual means.
Me too.
Come on, my slow ass computer. Okay, 1 second, fam. 1 second. Demisexual is a sexual orientation that describes people who only feel sexual attraction to someone after forming an emotional connection with it. That's not a fucking thing. What the fuck, man? I'm leaving Google up because a lot of these fucking words seem to be coming up that we don't know what they mean.
You ready?
Granted, they were very different from each other, but they were both unfamiliar. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was into him a little, but really moved on before he asked me out. I was so excited and dressed up, and we had gone on dates for about 4 months. He made a joke around then when I asked to invite a friend to something he and I were going to. Well, as long as it's not someone else tour dating, and I froze. He said he was dating several others, and I was free to as well. But when we hit the 2 month mark, he said I was his only person. So I guess I assumed. I was bummed out. Ultimately, it was my fault. I should have clarified.
Next says, whoop whoop. Finally, he dropped in.
That same night, he
Sorry,
tried to
continue.
initiate our first time, and I said no, given that I was exhausted, and also I had an early session of D&D. I am a paid DM at a comic shop nearby. He said that was a load of crap, and if I don't find him attractive, to just say so. I told him I really did find him attractive, but two things were in play: my need and desire to go to bed at a good time, and the fact that I don't want to get intimate with someone unless we are exclusive. Parentheses, we are both monogamous. That made him very upset, and he said, "Fine, I'll drop the other girls," and went to try and initiate. I said again, "No, I am still tired, and I still have D&D in the morning." He huffed and called me a liar and left after about 20 minutes. I was frustrated, but I wasn't going to have this fight that late. The next day, I had B&B at the comic shop, and the owner took pictures and tagged me on social media. By the time it was over, I had 13 calls from him and 9 messages. When I called back without listening to the messages, I thought it was an emergency. He went off on me saying I chose D&D over him, stupid D&D is, and that I am a child who needs to grow up. He said he wants to break up with me right now, but will calm down and I need to make it up to him to change his mind. I am pretty dumb when it comes to relationships, so am I really that bad? I mean, the session alone paid my utilities for the month, so it was a priority. But sweet Jesus, am I so clueless that I am a horrible girlfriend? Karaoke night is coming up, and I am actually celebrating a new gig, so I'm already expected to go. I don't want to deal with him there, so I have to reach out before. Am I the asshole?
Okay, right off the bat, y'all been dating for 4 months and you ain't gave him any netting? Yeah, you're kind of the asshole.
See, I disagree.
I fully understand his fucking frustration. Fuck that.
I'm not going to say I don't understand being frustrated with the situation, but treating her that badly because she had to go to bed for a job she had the next morning
No,
was
he
a little
wasn't
overkill.
treating her badly. He might have yelled and, vented some frustrations. That's all the fuck he did. He didn't abuse her or any fucking thing. He's been
he
dating this
basically
girl.
was demeaning to her and called her a child and everything else because she had to get up and go do this paid job
After
that she had to pay her bills.
after 4 months of him whining and dining her and her not giving him anything in return, yeah, I fully fucking agree with him. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not like he wasn't getting anything. He flat out said he was intimate with other girls.
Yeah, because she wasn't being intimate with him. Isn't that
But
always
he
some
wasn't
excuse
not
for y'all
getting
women
anything.
when you cheat? When women cheat, it's always, well, there was something the man wasn't giving her. Yeah, there was something she wasn't giving him. And she was
First
dating
of
other
all, I
people
don't
too, she
justify cheating
mentioned in
for
there.
men or
So
women.
it's
Second,
not. She also, no, because she also said she had other dates too. So that's not a thing. They're
that's
not
not what
cheating.
I'm
That's an
saying.
open
You brought up
relationship.
cheating, and I was stating
No, I
I don't
didn't.
justify that for men or women.
All I'm saying is, no, him spending all that time and money on this bitch for 4 months and she not giving him nothing, yeah, he has every right to be upset and vent his frustrations. And he
I
didn't even
I
cuss her out. He just said that she was acting like a child. That's actually not that bad.
I respect your opinion.
That's pretty
I just have
minor
a
on the
different one.
insult list.
My difference of opinion being that they weren't in a monogamous relationship. It's not like she owed it to him. He was seeing other women. She was seeing other people too. And she stated, once we are officially, you know, monogamous and
Y'all don't
exclusive,
seem to
then I will be comfortable with that.
see, you don't seem to understand how monogamous relationships work these days. People don't decide to date till after they've already done that, more than likely. That's how it works. You test the
That's
goods
not how it
before
works for
you
me.
drive the shit off the lot. Well, you're stuck in the 80s.
I
I'm telling you.
aside from
No,
my brief
no,
home days of one night
you're
stands,
lucky
that's
you
not
got
how it works.
greeny because if you was dating, no dude would agree to settle with you until you had already given him a test run. That's how that works. No dude is going to do that now. You're lucky you got green.
I am lucky I got greeny.
Let's just say I look at it different than him. I look at it as I'm gonna date someone before I fuck them because I don't just fuck and then go.
You're just
I don't
saying that
push
because
that.
your wife is sitting there and that's how
No, I
she
mean,
feels. And
no, I mean
you
that
are
actually.
pro you getting some. That's what that is, y'all. Don't let him lie to you. He knows if he
He's teasing
disagrees with
you.
her, he
Chill.
won't get none.
Did I? Did you fuck before we got?
Edited for grammar and such, it says.
Did I try to fuck you? No, you tried to fuck me first.
We done
Yeah, see,
after
you
we were in a
hussy,
committed relationship.
you hussy. Okay, let's read some of these comments, sister, before we move on.
Your friend texted you. Can't exactly say this name online. All right, comments. First comment: don't drop something you enjoy doing for someone you've been seeing only a couple of months and acts like a big toddler. A good guy would be understanding. Dump the guy and keep D&D, not the asshole.
So many people are fucking brainwashed.
I
Maybe
was
I'm the
trying to
asshole.
find at least one that, backed up
I, th-
your stance
I
on it.
think
So we
I
had
might
a,
be the asshole because,
yeah, I think you're the asshole.
yeah, there's none. And I'm literally the only one that says she's the asshole, so I guess I'm the asshole. None of these people understand how dating works in the fucking 2020s, okay? Get with the times, people.
Not the asshole. He's trying to manipulate you. Not the asshole. I'm 46 male. I DM my own game in Eberron. You are best rid of him. Do not drop a hobby / freelance gig for this red flag waving jerk. Anyone who calls your
No,
hobby stupid and childish isn't someone you really want in your life, romantic or otherwise, not the asshole.
I will say, I will say, okay, um, him attacking the game does kind of piss me off. Okay, yes, but him being frustrated, like I said about the other shit, I fully fucking understand. Him attacking the game is my only issue.
So I think we've come to the safe conclusion, viewers, that in this situation, Nitro is the
Lil Nitro
asshole.
is the asshole. Hey, I'm only half an asshole. Remember, I acknowledged the other part.
Can't be a hat.
I'm not an asshole. I'm just an ass. Oh, okay.
Where did you put them? Yeah,
How pinheaded.
by putting
This
your
one
arm
only
out.
has 3 comments, so I can read this. I can read this one and all the comments.
Which one is it?
This one is called "Am I the asshole for putting a curse on my D&D player?" It was posted 5 days ago, so there's probably no updates. All right,
I'm not
me.
finding that one.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, that one's not popping up on here for me.
It should be like right below the one we just did.
Nope.
All right, well, it's only like a paragraph long, so maybe we'll do it. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm just trying to set up.
All right. Before I start, at the bottom it says for clarification. When I say he, I mostly referred to H. So I'm guessing he's going through his players by letter so as to protect their identity.
Right.
So whenever he says he, he's mostly referring to the character known as H. Okay. Me, DM, male 20. Started a new campaign for the first time. I'm a DM for an IRL group instead of an online. One of my players, which I'll call A 18, E 18, and H 16, came to the second session, and H decided to say the N word out of place. Stuff just that just didn't allow the session to be serious like I intended eventually. This just got real. And there's not a single period in this bitch.
Oh fuck.
There's no commas, there's no punctuation. It's one big ass run on sentence that doesn't even have a period at the end. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh
I'm
God.
glad it's you and not me.
Uh Eventually I got pissed and decided to place a curse on him for the rest of the campaign as a plot relevant to make him take 1d6 damage each time he says something that isn't fitting for the situation. Yesterday, I was going to do a session for them, but he called us 30 minutes before the session was supposed to happen and said he can't come to the session because there might be an attack today. He decided to tell us he didn't come because he was pissed at me and A for not wanting to go to the biggest mall in the country with him since there could be a terror attack. I'm thinking of punishing him in the campaign somehow, but don't want to come off as an asshole. All right. A few things I've got right off the top of my head. I'm gonna get off my chest. Number one, fuck your grammar. Oh my god, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever read. There's no punctuation anywhere. Okay. Number two, yes, you are the asshole. You should not ever, ever, ever use out of game shit as a reason to fuck with someone in game. Let's get that out there. Number two, if this dude is such a piece of shit that he is openly just yelling the N word in your game, boot him from your fucking group. Nothing good will come of it.
Hold on.
Cisco, do
Two
you have
things.
anything?
Firstly, he's debating on punishing the player for a decision the player made out of game that had no correlation to the game.
Relevant. Yes.
Okay,
Fuck
yes, you
that.
are the
Fuck
asshole.
both of these guys. Fuck both of them.
I think they're both the asshole because of that. And B,
Yeah.
like you said, if you are such a trash player that you don't mind spouting fucking derogatory
Racial
slurs and
slurs.
shit for no reason other than just to do so in the middle of a game, then that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially considering one of my best players and my cousin is a black dude, that would severely offend him.
Right.
So no, I'm not gonna have a person like that at my fucking table right off the bat. And number two, you like I said, you never fuck with someone in a game because of some shit that's totally not related.
That would be like if I pranked your coffee and you killed off my player.
Like he said he's 20. He's a kid. Dude, you need to grow the fuck up. And number two, you said this guy's 16. Call his fucking parents.
Right?
Be like, yo, your kid is using some real fucked up language at my game table, calling people racial slurs and shit. You should probably deal with that. Maybe he comes from a racist family. I don't know. I don't have enough context. The whole fucking thing is one sentence. I don't even know if it counts as a sentence. There's no period. All right, let's see these comments. There's not a one for all. The comments are not popping up. I think OP turned off the comments because he got his ass chewed out.
Eh,
Oh, that's sad. Okay. All right. Are you on the list?
oh no, Greedy's phone isn't there.
Oh, so I'll have to do this next one too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to read the titles of the next four, and you're going to pick which one we do based only on the title. Okay.
All right.
All right. So for reference, and it's from now on, all of these are coming from the "Am I the Asshole" D&D subreddit. Uh, am I the asshole for telling my husband's brother he can't play D&D with us? Am I the asshole for having FOMO? I don't know what FOMO is. FOMO caps. Uh, am I the asshole for having FOMO over D&D and getting frustrated? I don't. Am I the asshole for trying to do weird things in D&D games? That sounds interesting. Oh, that one has 114 comments.
I really want to hear
Oh,
that one.
yeah, I think we're just gonna do that one. Oh, ooh,
Hear
and it's
back from
short.
those
It's only a
viewers.
paragraph, and there's punctuation. It's one paragraph. Are we ready?
Hit it.
All right. I have a D&D group that I play in every Thursday and try to be pretty creative in the way I solve problems in game, make characters, and describe my actions. Recently, I tried to make a one-armed swordsman character, and they said to me if I were to do that, I would get disadvantage for every attack roll, minus to my AC, and other things to dissuade me from making it. And I would tell them that I thought those rulings were unfair. I don't know. I think the disadvantage is pretty fair. I don't know
Yeah,
about the AC and shit. Um, a lot of these
like we get
situations
those
came up.
stipulations for
I,
certain things that we want to do.
yeah. Uh, a lot of these situations came up. I would want to do something that I thought was creative and interesting, and the DM would shut me down. I was a bard in one campaign, and the party had been captured by a frost giant, and to make it an easier, hang on. Yeah, I skipped. Hang on. Okay, party had been captured by a frost giant. The only and the oh god, oh god, the only was he let them free. So I'm guessing that's supposed to say the only way he would let them free is if we killed a big ass animal thing. So when we got to the cave, it was then I cast Major Illusion to make a female version of it to seduce it and bringing it back to the Frost Giant to make it an easier fight. But the DM said the real animal was female, so I had to fight it. The PC was my PC was kicked out of the tavern and barred from ordering any kind of beer or mead or whatever. So I went outside to cast Disguise Self. He made me roll a disguise check and I got an 18 on it. Okay, there's only like a sentence or two left, but I have to address this right now before I forget. You don't roll a disguise check if you cast Disguise Self. It's a spell. You're just disguised if it goes off. You roll a disguise check if you're using a disguise kit.
I need to get my bow out of here.
Okay. So far, it sounds like the DM's kind of asshole. When I got back into the tavern, I got some beer, and he tells me that my disguise falls off. How? It's a spell
That's not how that spell works.
at all. Stuff like that happen pretty often. Am I the asshole for derailing the game? I don't know. How did you derail the game? You didn't say anything. All
This
right.
DM don't know how it does it.
Okay. Before I read
All right.
comments and we start giving our points on it, the verdict on this one is asshole,
Probably want them to.
which I don't personally understand. It sounds to me like the DM is the asshole
They might not be able to do
Yeah, to
because
me it sounds like the DM don't know what the fuck they're doing.
yeah, OP says, "Am I the asshole for derailing the game?" I don't see how they did derail the game because it sounds to me like the DM would bring in these situations and OP would try to think of a real fun and creative way to deal with them. That doesn't sound like derailing to me.
That sounds like the way you're supposed to play the game.
Yeah.
He
And
sounds
even
like a
then,
magic
like the
user who's
DM
trying to
is,
use his spells to come up with creative solutions to problems.
like it says, OP cast disguise self, but DM's treating it like a disguised kid.
That's not how that works.
So, I disagree with the overall verdict. Before we go into comments, I think DM is an asshole and OP is justified. That's my opinion, personally.
Yeah, I think DM just don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. All right, let's check these comments. All right, the first one is, oh, you're the asshole. Let me tell you why. I have a very good friend who is always trying to find workarounds for rules, come up with new rules, argue the merit of decisions. In general, he comes up with off the wall ideas that simply don't work or fit within the rules of any given game. He is always convinced he is correct and will argue tirelessly. It is honestly insufferable. This part of his personality is annoying as fuck. I've learned to just say nah and not get baited into an argument. The whole thing is he's being an ass. He's saying he's an ass for saying how he feels something is unfair. Fuck this guy too.
But by the time I got the bowl
This
broke in,
commenter is an asshole.
you know, my dad already put all the adjustments on.
Get the shoes off the bed. She's gonna fall off that bed. They suck. Yeah, maybe I'm stupid, but to me that sounds like a DM who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and a spellcasting player who is trying to use their spells to come up with a creative solution to the problems in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone commenting on here saying that OP is the asshole. You people are assholes. How about that? All right. You have your list up?
One sec.
We got about 20 minutes before we hit our time. We might be able to fit a couple more of these in. By the way, I know no one's in here right now, but like and subscribe.
Hers is awake, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Honey, I
My
can't.
niece
I
has a
got
tail. What the fuck? Finally, JPC, whoop whoop.
whoop whoop, JPC.
He found asleep.
Defaulted
We
it.
got 20 minutes. You might make a couple of stories. You'll have to watch back for the others.
I'll be able
Man.
to read one myself if Brainy will ever give me my spot.
Oh, we've had some doozies today. By the way, JPC, if you want to follow along, we're picking all these stories from the Am I the Asshole D&D subreddit. And make sure if you guys like this episode, tell us in the comments and we might do some more like this. While she's getting set up, I'm going to go ahead and go through another one because we're on a limited time frame here.
Rephrase that. JPC, if you like what you're about to see, let us know because you're the only one watching.
Right? Oh, here you go. Am I the asshole for being annoyed that my friend always has her phone on D&D?
Oh, that
Oh,
one
wait.
definitely.
Yeah? Okay. What do you mean her phone on D&D? Do you mean like when you're playing, she's always got her phone out? Or do you mean like she's always watching D&D content on YouTube or something like that? That's a big distinction. All right. This one was posted 3 months ago. Bet hells yeah. We had a few good ones. We had a few good ones. All right. Am I the asshole for being annoyed that my friend always has her phone on D&D? Honestly, I don't know why she has it on, and I fully don't know how do not disturb works since I never used it. But I'll text her and ask her a question that she doesn't respond to. I understand maybe a late response, which wouldn't bother me, but like if I'm asking a question about what time we need to be somewhere the next day, it would be nice to receive a response before then. We're both graduating next week, so we have to go to practice tomorrow. I asked her what time we have to be there by if we were being driven instead of taking the bus, and she never responded. It's currently midnight, and this is like a mandatory thing, and we can't be late. The school hasn't been super clear on this stuff, so I wanted to double check with her. But she never responded to my text, and it most likely won't get a response. I don't really know anyone else I could ask except for like one dude, but I don't know if he'd answer either. Edit. I also want to add that I asked her 4 minutes after I responded to the text that she had sent me. I'm not expecting a response within 2 seconds, but considering I texted her around 7 and it's already midnight, I'm definitely annoyed. Okay. Um, so I have a couple of comments on this one. Number one is I do have a pretty strict no phones at the game table rule that everyone in the group has agreed to. Once I start narrating shit, once the game starts, everyone knows phones down, with very few exceptions. There's like two or three exceptions to that rule. Number one is if like a lot of our players are in serious relationships, and if their partners aren't here at the table that day, and you get a call from them, I kind of look the other way for about 5 minutes, give you time, allow for that. It might be an
Or if it's
emergency.
for a
I don't know.
babysitter or something for our
Uh,
kids.
right, something like that. Number two is if I specifically ask you to get on your phone to look something up for me, obviously I'm not gonna be like, "Why are you on your fucking phone?" I just told you to get on your phone. And I think the only other exception is like if we're in an epic combat and we want some great music or we want a couple of shots to splice a trailer or something, we'll get a phone out for that. What's up?
Yeah, or if we need to ask you something privately.
Lock the door behind you. Don't be gone too long. We got a lot of cleaning to do before mom gets home. I want to get at least the kitchen and dining room and living room picked up before mom gets home. What time is it? 3. So it's about 4. I'll give you an hour and a half. Sound good? All right, love you. That one's my oldest daughter.
Or like
Okay.
if we have to ask you something privately, we might text it to you.
Right. So, no, I don't think OP is an asshole for being, annoyed about this, but I do think that they don't fully understand the lengths certain people will go to not be interrupted during their game. You know what I mean?
I mean, hell,
What do
even
you think?
people who aren't in our group, but our friends or family of the people in our group, know the no phone rule. Like my best friend, if they try to text me or call me while we're on game day and I don't answer, I'll immediately get a message. I am so sorry, I forgot it was game day, and they won't try to contact me again until they know game time's done.
Shout out to Blake. That dude's a real one.
He really is.
Uh, any other comments before we move on to the comments?
Um, no, I don't think DM's the asshole there. I understand the no phone rule.
Right. Okay. So there's not a verdict posted on this one. We'll, I guess, have to determine that from the comments. Uh, let's see. First one says, while it's annoying and frustrating, you really only got yourself to blame for the annoyance if you keep texting, expecting a timely response, but knowing she won't answer right away because of the D&D. I acknowledge that as well. In a particular scenario, calling the school is the obvious solution. You seem to be going out of your way to annoy yourself. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you could have called the school and just asked them what time. However, I
What?
didn't think of that, so OP probably didn't think of that either.
I missed that.
Um, uh, Someone said, while it's annoying and frustrating, you really only got yourself to blame for the annoyance if you keep texting expecting a timely response during D&D. In this particular scenario, calling the school is the obvious solution. You seem to be going out of your way to annoy yourself. And I'm like, I'm thinking, yeah, if they just called the school, they could have bypassed all that stress. But at the same time, I was thinking, I didn't even think to call the fucking school. Probably didn't either.
Right.
But I do agree with that comment fully. OP responded, I can't really call them at midnight, and it's very unlikely they'll answer a phone call before the school even opens. Okay, right here. You could have called them before midnight hit. You had all day to call them if you didn't know the time. You said you were stressed about it all day. That is the dumbest ass shift in the fucking shame response. Okay, OP might be an asshole.
Oh.
Okay. So,
She snorts like mom. Your niece snorts like her mother.
yeah.
You know who was the first person to point that out to me?
Uh,
Suicidal Queen.
oh yeah.
She was holding her for me while I was making a bottle one morning, and I went in there and she goes, "You know she snorts like her mama, right?" I was like, "Shut up."
Okay. This one sounds like it might hit close to home. Am I the asshole for not canceling my D&D session?
Yes.
I am
I think
intrigued.
we're here. I think we might end it on this. 14 days ago.
Oh shit.
Oh, let me get a drink.
It's
Okay.
okay, Becky Bridges.
This last May, a friend of mine told me he was getting married and the wedding would be on Monday at 3 in the afternoon. Monday was chosen because of work schedules. I also have a regular D&D game on Monday, and this group has been meeting for almost a year. But because we are a small group, if one person can't make it, the session is canceled. My game is important to me and my mental health, and I prioritize keeping Mondays open. Okay, number one, before I move on, just bringing up that sentence right there, my game is important to my mental health, is kind of a douchebag. Like, we have all, in our group in particular, every one of us have mentioned how playing D&D is a good way to help us de-stress and it helps with mental health. But starting out a whole scenario by going, it's important for my mental health is kind of a douchebag move, you know?
Like, yeah, I will admit, playing the game helps with my mental health. But I'm not going to make it out like it is
Like,
necessary for me to be able to function.
right, like it's a therapy. We'll call it therapeutic, but it's not therapy.
Right, like trust me, I love being able to have regular games every week, every other week, what have you. But we haven't been able to do that in a while, and I'm still fucking managing.
Right?
Although you do need
I think this channel helps.
Thank you,
It gets our
honey.
RP
Thank you.
fit.
Did you hear Greenie?
No.
I said that, and he goes, his eyes got real wide, and he goes, "Yeah, but you do need a game."
That's what I said. The channel helps fill that void a little.
But am I just a naggy asshole when I don't get to play? Don't give me
Yes.
that look. Oh,
Okay.
fuck you,
You did
Back
Nitro.
say
into it. Back into it. Back into it. I told him that I would be at the wedding, but I would be leaving a bit early to go to my game. He completely understood and was just happy that I could be there. Okay, so it sounds like we found a compromise. I showed up early with food for the potluck. I mingled and said hello to my friend. Ceremony was great. We did some photos and then it was time to eat. After about an hour and a half, I started making my rounds to say goodbye. I congratulated my friend and his bride and said thank you to the minister and said goodbye to my friends. When they asked why I was leaving, excuse me, sir, I was honest and told them I was going to play D&D. Some of them seemed a bit surprised that I would leave to go play a game, in quotes. We are now a month past the wedding, and I'm still catching some snide comments from a few people at work because I ditched my friend's wedding to play a game. I don't think I'm the asshole, nor does my friend, but a cadre of coworkers seem to think I am. What do y'all think? Okay,
I think
so
I've
before
got
I
some
even look at
mixed
comments,
feelings on this one.
I don't,
that's wrong.
I don't, I don't think they're an asshole. I mean, it sounds like their friend and they made a compromise. They're both happy with the thing. She didn't cut out. They didn't cut out on the ceremony. They saw the whole ceremony. You
That's
know,
what
the
I'm saying. Like,
wedding part they were present for.
I personally would have, opted, you know what, I'll catch the next game. This is a big day for my friend. However, the fact that they made that compromise with their friend, the person who was actually getting married said, that's fine. I
And it was
100% get
ahead
it.
of
I'm
time.
just
It wasn't
glad
last
you're
minute.
coming. Right. The fact that it was agreed upon and the person whose day it actually was even said that they had no problem with that should have been enough for the
Yeah.
rest of the guests.
Right. It seems like the only people seeing a problem with it so far are people whose opinions, frankly, don't fucking matter.
In that position, I feel like the only people whose opinions really matter on it are the bride and groom. And if they didn't have a problem with it, then the guests had no right to guilt trip this other guest.
Especially when the OP went out of their fucking way to be there for the most important part of the whole thing.
Right.
And even
Like, and
came
again,
early
like
and
I
brought
said,
food for everybody.
I personally would
Like,
have
come
been
on
like,
now.
I can catch the next game. That's not a big deal. But this person
Well, no,
made the
because
effort to make plans with the person to be able to be there for them.
but they can't just like I said. Not only are they the DM, so if they cancel, the whole game is canceled. But OP also said that with the amount of players they have, I'm guessing they only have two or three players because if one person cancels, the whole game has to be canceled. So I think it's actually admirable that they went out of their way to not only work it out with their friend to be there for them, but also made it to where they could do both. They didn't have to let anyone down.
Yeah, they had a lot of people that were counting on them, and they made compromises to make sure they could hold up their end for everybody.
So
Nice.
my personal opinion, not the asshole.
Ow. You just hit me in my bun.
Some of the comments. Uh, so the first one, I'm very interested to hear because it says you're the asshole.
Read it.
If you decide to leave early, that's your call. But when you explain to the other guests that detail that you are leaving to play D&D, you are publicly downgrading the wedding to less, in your opinion, than a game. Evade, I have something scheduled, would have preserved the specialness of the wedding. Your complete for D&D explanation downgrades the once in a lifetime wedding to less than a weekly amusement. It isn't your presence or lack at the reception that makes you the asshole. It's your declaring the wedding as unimportant. and that was the asshole move. Okay. Um, I completely disagree with you. I will agree, yeah, you could have just said I've got something to do or something scheduled, and they wouldn't have had an issue. I understand that. However, you are assuming that people don't have a passion for D&D, number one, like it's just a game. Now, for all intents and purposes, yeah, it's just a game. You know, don't take it that serious. But it's not just a game, okay? If that makes any fucking sense. Number two, you're assuming that they're able to gather weekly. Now, granted, OP stated they could, but you don't fucking know that. Well, the reader does, I guess. But the point is, a lot of people don't understand. Most, I'll say about half of groups are not able to get together every fucking week and play. Like for us, we play once in a blue moon. So when we finally do get a game scheduled, yes, I'm going to prioritize that among other things because it's not something we can do very often and it is so important to us.
On top of that, he never ever stated or implied that it was more or less important. All he said was
Exactly.
that he was asked where he was going, and he truthfully answered, "Oh, I've got D&D. I'm heading out."
And just because this game is not important to the people you're talking to doesn't mean it's not important to you.
Right, and you don't know how much of an impact a certain passion or hobby has on somebody. Like for all they know, one of his players who has no association to this wedding is in an abusive household or some shit, and that's their one escape from reality. And if he lets them down, he doesn't want to let them down. He didn't do anything wrong by stating, "Oh, if he's asked, where are you going?" There is nothing wrong with him being truthful and saying, "Oh, I've got D&D." Especially when, like stated before, it was already worked out and compromised with the actual people who mattered in the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
come in.
Okay.
Do it there.
Uh, this comment says, oh, this is from, nope, that's from OP. I don't want that. While it's true that many don't see TTRPGs as a valid hobby for also have to have sensitivity for the precious situation it might put your friend in. At this at his wedding, if you don't care if it puts him in a precious situation, then you're the asshole.
It ain't
People
fucking
don't
yours.
generally skip out on a wedding to attend a hobby. Your hobby comes with certain level of commitment. Weddings, however, are a big one time for many. No, they're not. No, they're not. Fuck off. People get married more times than they've had regular relationships nowadays. Fuck off.
Where was it?
It's in
Um,
living room.
Generally, society recognizes that putting off your hobbies for one day to attend your friend's wedding is the right move. I also play
Yeah.
TTRPGs quite a lot and would skip a
How
session
much?
to be at a wedding. But I am also a rare RPGer who happens to be very extroverted,
Yeah.
and social situations don't bother me. If your batteries were drained, nothing wrong with leaving. And like I said, if your friend isn't bothered and it's just idiots being idiots, fuck them. I agree with that last sentence, but yeah, no, weddings are not a once in a lifetime event for any fucking body. I don't care who you are.
I don't know if I was hard to like chew that up, but half the time that I know she was in here.
I do
Oh,
acknowledge
nothing.
that OP probably could have just said something like, I've got something planned. I gotta get it. I got prior commitment, whatever. Been vague about it and avoided all the drama. Yeah. However, the only ones being assholes are the ones judging them for prioritizing stuff. Fuck yeah.
And the people judging are people who have no right to because it's not even their wedding.
Right. Fuck them.
It's just random
No,
guests.
OP, I don't think you're the asshole. King Trencher, I don't think you're the asshole, homie. I don't. This was posted 2 weeks ago. Can I add a comment? I'm gonna see if I can add a comment.
Well, yeah. Oh, beautiful. You feel like going and getting me a drink in the dollar store? If not, I'll just DoorDash it. I just want a cold drink. Suicidal Queen in this bitch.
Whoop whoop! You jumped in the last couple of minutes. I'm putting a
Right.
comment on this last story, and then we're gonna do our little exit here. I'm gonna read it after I post it, if it lets me post it. Give me a sec. I'm typing.
Oh, beautiful. She's a squirmy wormy today. JPC wrote whoop whoop backwards.
Yeah, yeah. Whoop whoop.
Hang on, honey. Mommy's gonna try and sit up. Ah. Look. Lay down, Harley. Either that or a Milo's extra sweet tea.
I don't know.
We'll be in the back.
Oh.
Boom. I put not the asshole. While it's true
Hey,
that
Chris.
being vague would have avoided the drama entirely, D&D is more to most than a mere hobby, and a lot of groups aren't able to get together every week. So when it does happen, it's a special occasion.
Not to mention, he took the steps he needed to take in order to make sure he could accommodate both events.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
my comment already has one upvote.
You what?
I
I didn't know we had it.
So, any more last comments or concerns before we end it, guys?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, guys, anyone that wasn't able to catch us from the beginning, feel free to go back and listen to the other stories we read off. Some of them were pretty good. And if you guys are interested in seeing us do more stuff like this in the future, let us know in the comments after the stream ends and I get it published, which I am going to YouTube on the computer to do right now. So it should be up in just a few minutes. Go ahead and go to the comments and let us know, and we might do some more. So until next week, whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.